regular season full of milestone victories, so why wouldn't it finish with so much at stake? A conference title, the Kinney Cup, and a chance to play for a national championship. All of it a reward if Iowa Western could beat Iowa Central. Highlights of the Reivers and the Tritons coming up next. This is the Coach Stroh Show, the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show, and you got it only on CBTV 17. The Kinney Cup, the traveling trophy awarded to the winner of the annual rivalry game with Iowa Central and Iowa Western. A great idea, and aside from year number one, it has taken up residence at Hoover Hall here at Iowa Western. Coach, a lot to play for in one game. You get a conference title, the Kinney Cup, a chance at the national title game. With all the players that know each other, they're kind of throughout the state of Iowa. Does it take any sort of motivation to get them ready for this game, or they just come in ready-made?
For the most part, I mean, with the rivalry game, they're ready to go. I think the approach that we took is all those things in play, and ultimately with an opportunity to play for national championship. And pleased the way our guys came out, but they were motivated, and so was the opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Coach Strohmeier. I'm Jake Ryan. Let's take a look at the highlights from the Iowa Central game. Here come the Reivers rolling at Dodger Stadium. The blue-white-blue combination hadn't worn it since the rain game. Thankfully, it was dry all day. Reivers will get the ball in the opening possession, and it's a handoff to the playmaker, Devon Pay, as you guys get things started offensively.
Yeah, we didn't start maybe the way we wanted to. In the first drive, we ended up having to punt right away, but sometimes it takes a little bit. Just got off the bus and sat around and going out there to play.
Well, the good news is, Coach, you see Tay run out of bounds there. He didn't make a silly decision. He just sucked it up and knew that there was plenty of game to play.
Well, and you try to stress that it's not always a bad thing to punt, and a windy day like that, we gave them good field position, but seems like those things happen to us a lot this year where they
make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Well, there is Joe Morrow, that's number 15, who gets the carry there. He's stopped, and the Reivers take over on a punt by Iowa Central. And again, a little bit slow moving, pass outside to Taj Williams, does get you a first down. And then Bender, again, a pass. This one is complete. Nice. How about that catch by Ronald Nash, huh?
It's a huge third down catch, and for him to go up and to come down with it and get a first down was big.
And I saw a still picture of that. Also got a big handful of face mask on that catch by Ronald as well. He will punt it away, and here come a fumble by Devon, and then gives the ball back. Zach Mensch, the lone great run for Iowa Central on the day right there, all the way to the goal line. Good job there by Charlie Rogers, bringing him down short of the end zone.
Well, that drive, the way it was going, it was like you could feel the momentum. They were excited to get a long run, and we were fortunate enough, defense we played did well and stopped them, held them to a field goal.
Yeah, actually 3 straight losses on the play. They get the field goal. They're up 3-0. First time that the Reivers have trailed in quite some time. And then you go up top, but the wind was a bit of a factor all day long. That one looked like it was probably on its way to Taj, and then a last gust blew it out of bounds.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought we had that one there, but again, got stopped. We're still down. Now it's change of field position with the punt. We pin them a little bit deep. And you get a good, Justin Van Houten there with the sack, and defensively, again, really stepping up.
Well, a great job by Connor Thomas on that punt, pinning him deep, and then the defensive line all day was inside of the backfield. And then, again, the Reed Bonner with a great return sets you up your best field position of the day, and you guys start moving it downfield.
Yeah, and I think that's just, we had to get settled in and get the field position game back and come through with some plays.
Taj on the one side, then to the other side to Tyus Mason. He gets you inside the 10-yard line, sets it up pretty good, 1st and goal. Why don't you throw it to the big guy, Coach?
Yeah, well, there was a good one. We knew they were in man coverage and motion a guy across and give us a whole bunch of room, and Mr. Davis there can go up and get it.
Yeah, he certainly can, and great mismatch there as he 6'6", was on a 5'9" defender. So you took advantage, 7-3, you take the first lead, and then again, the D-line getting in the backfield, Kevin Robbins, Stacy Keeley this time just making Kendall Jackson pay for it.
They didn't do hardly. I mean, anything offensively. Defensively, we did such a good job. They got that pass play there, but other than that, they didn't get much all day.
Here's a pass outside. Ronald Nash, a nice catch again, and it gets you moving forward in the right direction, which is what you want to be as ahead of the chains.
Yeah, and then this one we kind of broke the pocket and found Alex Reed down the field, and ends up on this possession. We're moving it again, and then Pay takes this one, makes the guy miss. And
9 rushing touchdowns on the year, Coach, 7 of them for 41 yards or more. It's amazing how he just gets through that line. You think, okay, he's all right, and then he shakes through a couple tacklers and he's gone, just like that.
Well, you're not going to arm tackle him in the secondary. That's the big thing. So once he gets through, you better get a good piece of him. And
how about this one? Marcus Montgomery all the way to the corner. He takes the dive and then hits the pylon. Touchdown, Reivers. One of the most exciting plays of the year as far as getting inside the boundary when he was on his way out.
It's huge. We 14-3 interception. Now we're 21-3. So we're kind of getting control of the game.
21-3 on the catch there, on the catch there by Marcus Montgomery, his first touchdown of the season. And then they just couldn't get anything going. You guys get the ball back again. Tyus Mason turns the corner and makes a nice little gain there.
Yeah, Tyus is good little running here. This one's tough. It's 3rd and short. He's holding it in the arm that he has the brace on, and we end up fumbling it. It was probably close, but
from my vantage point, Coach, he was down on the play.
I thought he was too. But
so the Tritons will continue to try to move it forward. Jackson will spin out. Guess what? He can't get out of the grip of Merrick Jackson. And then the punt, and guess what? The other way, Rico Gafford. I tell you what, he's got some Heisman form on this one. It's a good thing he picked it up and returned it, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you what, we fumbled it. We had a great opportunity, and we fumbled it, and then good defensive stop, and then a special team score. So now we got 2 offense and 1 defense and 1 special team score.
And Kendall Jackson, again, runs over a Reaver there, but he was taking some punishment all day long, number 1 in the backfield.
Our guys were, like I said, they were all over him. Did a good job. He made a couple plays. That's really all he got.
Well, he made the throws. Number 15, Joe Morrow, is the one that made a couple plays. He played excellent all day long as far as receiving the ball.
Yeah, he's their leading guy that they have, knowing that they're going to go to him.
Rally to the football, then a second miraculously gets put back on the clock. They get a field goal attempt, wide left. Should have just went into halftime.
Yeah, well, they got a couple plays there, and had an opportunity to put more points on the board, but they missed it. I didn't know if they had a second left, but whatever. Unfortunately, I don't get to choose.
Well, here's the good news. The wind was blowing your way exactly. For the end of the half. So you go up big at the half after a slow start. We'll get the coach's take on that first half and get your second half highlights when we come back. There's more Coach Stroh Show right after this.
Body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
From the studios of CBTV 17 in Council Bluffs, Jake Ryan, along with Iowa Western head football coach Scott Strohmeier. Well, Coach, you take care of business in the first half. You end up big at the end of the first 30. What did you talk about in the locker room? What was the feeling after the first half of play?
Well, I think we felt pretty good. Like I said, defensively, we played really well in the first half. We got a couple offensive scores, a defense score, and a special team score. So really just finish it off for 30 minutes and try to bring the cup home and let's get rolling.
Yeah, you saved room for it in the bus, I hope.
We did.
So let's take a look at the second half highlights with the Reivers up. as the Iowa Western Reivers again coming out in those road white jerseys. I'm going to say, Coach, I like the crisp look of what the combination was this week. You haven't worn the same one all season, and you've got some saved for the bowl season as well, and we'll talk about that as we come up. Iowa Central will start off with the ball, and again, another nice catch by Joe Morrow, the wide receiver for Iowa Central.
Yeah, they started off, they put it up for grabs, and he went up and got it. So we need to come up with what we do with a sack here. Mike Edwards, and had another decent day.
Mike Edwards, we talked to him in the post-game interview afterwards, and he was very yes sir, no sir, and you need to tell him he can have a little fun with us in the post-game should he talk with us again. Merrick Jackson on that one. Reivers get the ball back. Tate Bender goes to work across the middle into the belly of Alex Reed, and Alex will get up near midfield.
Yeah, I thought the spot wasn't very good there. We got to make that one. We got to convert on third downs when we got them open there, but we pin them deep, and defensively got to come back out.
Yeah, what a weapon Connor Thomas has been. Again, you go very deep, and then Kendall Jackson is running for his life, and this time it's stripped away. Keeley has a chance to be on it, and I'll tell you what, that ball is just so odd-shaped, it's hard to get a hold of, isn't it?
It is. It's tough. You always see that. You're supposed to just jump on it, but it's hard to tell them that when a defense player has a shot at a touchdown.
Absolutely. Reed Bonner with a nice return. Quick pass to Taj Williams as this drive gets set. The sun's starting to set in Fort Dodge, but the Tritons, well, they're still coming after you, and you're still going at them. Here's Tyler Lloyd across the middle just outside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, we're putting a good drive together, getting down, moving the football, getting down now again, trying to get some points here right away in the second half. Have to settle for a field goal. Actually, that one, we had a touchdown that was called back, and on film, I mean, it was I thought a bad call.
That was the one to Taj Williams where he was called for offensive pass interference. And again, the handoff, again, you're overwhelming people. And they go for a fake punt inside their own red zone. Maybe not the best choice on that play.
No, they felt they probably had to do something. They weren't moving the football, and 31-3 at the time.
Zach Martin hits Taj, and then the handoff to Tyus Mason. He cuts on a nice block there by Xavier Quigley and gets into the end zone. Tough run in there by Tyus.
Yeah, it was a nice run. Blocked well, and Tyus made a guy miss and ends up getting in the end zone.
So now you're up 38-3, and Kendall Jackson decides to take things into his own matter. Russ pointed out on the broadcast he was a lot better when he knew that he was running the football right away.
Well, and they designed that coming in. I mean, I'm sure they watched film, and you could see him scrambling around, knowing, breaking, trying to break contain, and some just designed quarterback runs.
How about that tackle by Mike Edwards with an offensive lineman on his back? He pulls down Kendall Jackson for the quarterback sack.
It was good, and then we get the football back and are able to go, getting a drive going, moving the length of the field, which is good.
Marshall Clark with the reception there. Reed Bonner springing in for a couple extra, and then Zach gets out of trouble and then maybe just tries to do too much here, throws into the end zone, and Chris McGee is going to intercept this football.
Yeah, and then look what happens here. We got a bunch of guys who don't know how to tackle or don't practice tackling, trying to strip it, and he ends up taking it. But, Zach, wish you have that one back. That's, you're trying to make a play, but at the same time, you can't take away points either.
Well, they get McGee and the Tritons on the board with a touchdown and an extra point. Defense still pitching the touchdown shutout. They've only given up a field goal, and then you guys would get the ball again. Here's a handoff to Anthony Anderson. He'll go toward the left side. Another good gain, 7 yards on that one. Connor Thomas will get this punt, and the special teams just overwhelming the return man at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, good punt and good coverage. Puts them deep, and they really, like I said, they don't have anything really going.
And another would have been a fantastic catch by Morrow. He can't hang on to this one. They'll hand off to Zach Mensch to the right side as the, again, darkness starting to fall on the regular season in Fort Dodge. It was a beautiful sky, great, not too bad of a day for football, a little bit breezy when you started, but it really settled down, and overall, pretty nice day for football. How about Swickerath dropping that one? He knew he had it in his hands.
Yeah, he had an opportunity there. We should have stayed in bounds. This is where we have to, as an offense, take advantage and use convert on some first downs. We were unable to do that, which is disappointing, really, and then we have to punt it back and put our defense back out there.
Well, here's the good news. You get the win. You get to hoist the trophy again, and you get to bring it back to Council Bluffs. I tell you what, it's you got a spot. I bet it's creating a little bit of a dent there in the table where you keep it at Hoover Hall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have it back. We lost it that first year, but we've pretty much dominated it from there. And my goal is this year to go get the thing engraved the week before the game. We put the new ones on last Friday, so I'm going to try to go get those done maybe this week.
Well, 6 straight victories over Iowa Central now. They were at the top of the heap when you started this football program, Ellsworth as well. And now those programs have kind of dropped down a couple notches where the Reivers are at the very pinnacle or near it of NJCAA football. Talk about what it's like to have gone. I mean, you were at Nyack beforehand. You played Iowa Central. You played Ellsworth beforehand. Talk about what it's like to be on the opposite side. You've seen this on the other side, and now here you are getting the wins year in and year out. I know you never get happy with what am I trying to say? You never get used to winning. You always want to keep winning, but you've got a pretty good streak going right now against Ellsworth and Iowa Central.
Well, we do, and I mean it starts from your in-state recruiting, and we're fortunate enough to get some of the better Iowa kids to come here. Where when I first joined the league, I don't even know what year it was now, but where that was Iowa Central. They were, and we battled it, and you gradually, you got to build it as a coach with high school coaches, and they understand the success we're having and the availability that we're getting kids out of here, as well as I think is a big thing. And you get the best players in Iowa, you're going to have pretty good success.
What's bigger for you in the recruiting aspect of it? Is it the fact that you can say, hey, we compete for national titles, or is it, hey, we move kids on to continue their careers at bigger and better places?
Well, I think both, and I think most kids want, they come here, the type of kids we're getting, they don't necessarily have to come here because of an academic situation. They come here because they want to get recruited higher. So I think that's probably the biggest one. But then it's another plus if you're competing for national championships. And the thing for us is our Iowa kids that are getting overlooked out of high school are coming out of here with better offers. And I mean, and you got to win the in-state recruiting.
Yep. All right, well, you look at those stats on the day, and overall, not too many things shown bright, but you take care of business. You get the win, 38-10 the final, 11-0, and we'll talk about the bowl game when we come back. But first, the Iowa Pipeline. It's back this season and doing a great job of holding their own. Offensive center Xavier Quigley joins the show next. This is the Coach Stroh Show here on CBTV 17.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
The Coach Stroh Show continues here on CBTV 17. I'm IWTV student and Riverbeat anchor Cassidy Miller, along with sophomore center Xavier Quigley. Xavier, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Congratulations on an undefeated season.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So how did you prep for Iowa Central?
We prepped it pretty much the same as we did every other week. I mean, it's a bigger game, yes, but in the end, it's still just another game for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the 5th year you guys have won the Kinney Cup in a row. Being a part of 2 of those years, how's that feel?
Really good. I know last year I really didn't know much about it. I was just kind of thrown into the rivalry. But over the last year, I mean, they're always talking. Coach is always telling us not to talk, retaliate, whatever. But it's just a rivalry. So
is it a pretty big rivalry?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of the biggest ones I've been a part of.
Absolutely. So how's your relationship with the quarterbacks?
Tay and Zach are great. I mean, me and Zach worked together last year in practices and in the spring. I got to get my rhythm down with Zach as well. They're great guys. I mean, both of them could be starting. I mean, they're great quarterbacks.
And so as a center, you are in the center of the action. How does it feel on the field? Is it kind of a chaos in there? Is it?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, we get the call from Tay, and then I have to take a second, make sure where the defense is, make the line calls, and then we have about 3 seconds to do that, and it's down, set, hut, and then we're off.
And so during practice, I know you guys have some friendly competitions between lines. Who's better in your mind, offensive or defensive line?
Obviously, the offense. You know, the defense will say otherwise, but, you know, I mean, we're both doing great on and off the field, in practices and in games. They step up, make big plays, and then they get that momentum. Then we like to take the ball and go down to score, get that momentum, keep it on our side.
And as a center, you kind of have a different perspective on the field. How do you view the game?
I like to slow it down. I know last year that was my problem, was I was thinking too much, not slowing it down. But this year, after having a year of college football under my belt, you know, the game slowed down for me a little bit.
Yeah. So this is your team's second chance at a national title in 3 years. How's that feel for you guys?
Oh, it's great. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we came here. You know, they say that they send people to D1 and all this, but I mean, at the end, we're still winning national championships.
Yeah. So how are you prepping for it?
Like I said, it's just another game. We're gonna prep the same way we did week 1.
That's awesome. So the team's kind of doing the same thing, just prepping just like every other game?
Yep.
How do you prep off the field?
I don't think it's much different. I mean, just normal student life, going to class, doing homework, all that, watching film.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.
Good luck on this next game. I look forward to seeing you guys play. There's sophomore center Xavier Quigley. Coming up after the break, Jake Wright and the coach are back to talk about what's next for the Reivers and a look at the Kinney Cup. We'll be right back.
If you store your guns properly.
So not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories. Or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids, this isn't a drill.
Please.
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 Do it for us.
For us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
We've reached the final segment of the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show, and it's an exciting one. Jake and the coach back to wrap things up here on CBTV Channel 17. Coach, all season long, stay undefeated 1 week at a time, 1-0. And now you just have to go 1-0 one more time. Number 2 in the country headed into the final regular season poll, and you get a chance to head down to Mississippi, a long way from home, but should be the game that you wanted all season long, a chance to match up with number 1 East Mississippi.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've never played a Mississippi team, and like I said, it has been a long year where it seems like we're always trying to bypass the next game, and ultimately this being our goal. You're 60 minutes away from claiming our second national championship, and just to be in that situation is a good position to be in. Now we just got to prepare for a stiff opponent.
Do you feel like this year's schedule has tested you sufficiently? Obviously, coming into the final rankings, you will now have faced 3 top 20 schools with Coffeyville, Hutch, and Butler. You take them all out and you sweep the Jayhawk Conference. What do you think compared to years past? How did this year's schedule set you up for this game?
Well, I think every one's so different because our team's a little bit different, but this was a grueling schedule, just like really last year's was as well, and the year before wasn't any slouch either. But last year was a little bit different because we were on the road so much and with a new team, and this year was, going into the Jayhawk and playing all those teams, perennial powers. But I'm proud of our team this year. 11 straight weeks, no off week, no bye week. Like I said, we reported August 1st. We started August 7th, and these guys didn't have a day off until really Monday. Yes, is when we gave them their first day off. So they deserve it. We'll give them a little bit of time off, and hopefully, like I said, the schedule did prepare us for the next task.
How excited are the guys? I know that everybody after the Iowa Central game, we're going to the ship, and now that it's finally official, they can really start talking about it, get their families involved. It should be a lot of fun on December 7th.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I said, this is what you strive for. I tried to tell the guys, in the preparation of each game going up to this, is you got an opportunity. We control our own destiny, but we've sent a lot of players on and to the next level, and they've never gotten another chance to play for a national championship. And so it's a pretty special, situation to be in, and hopefully our guys will cherish it. And obviously we want to go down and win a ball game, but at the same time, there's going to be lots of memories in this season that they'll never forget or ever get to experience again.
Absolutely. Well, it should be a lot of fun. 2 o'clock game. We've got a lot to do in between now and then. That does wrap up this week's edition of the Coach Stroh Show, but make sure you join us the week of the bowl game, as we'll be shooting live from the Iowa Western Student Center. The Reivers will be wrapping up preparations for the national championship game, and we'll pick the coach's brain on what he's learned about the Lions of East Mississippi. Plus, we'll be, I'm sure, joined by several special guests. That is all from the Iowa Western Student Center on Tuesday, December the 2nd. It has been a great season so far. The best, we hope, is yet to come. Thanks again to head coach Scott Strohmeier, starting center Xavier Quigley joining us today, and our great IWTV crew for putting the show together. We couldn't do it without them. We couldn't do it without you. I'm Jake Ryan signing off until next time. Catch the highlights of all the Reaver games on the Bluff Sports Zone. We'll talk with you, well, a couple weeks from now. And remember to wear blue, be loud, and go Reivers.